Hello and welcome once again to the Story Shed, and I hope that you're doing well and taking care. I obviously have another story to be telling you. This one is really a poem with a story in it. It's one of the cautionary tales of Hilaire Belloc. But before we start, I was hoping that Dinsdale the Duck would be joining me to give some word prompts for you to be able to write your own stories. And he wasn't too sure whether he should leave the house while we're in lockdown, come down the garden to the shed. So if you could give some encouragement to him, that'd be great. Just write to us if you've got any ideas of things you'd like to see on here, or words that you'd like Dinsdale to look into, because he's a literate duck. Okay, so if you write to us at thestoryshed@gmail.com. Just give Dinsdale a little bit of encouragement, and hopefully he'll come down to the shed and I won't just be sitting here on my own. And that'd be great. That'd be great. So, today's story is this. Matilda, who told lies and was burned to death. Gruesome ending. Spoilers. Matilda told such dreadful lies, it made one gasp and stretch one's eyes. Her aunt, who from her earliest youth had kept a strict regard for truth, attempted to believe Matilda. The effort very nearly killed her, and would have done so had not she discovered this infirmity. For once, towards the close of day, Matilda, growing tired of play, and finding she was left alone, went tiptoe to the telephone and summoned the immediate aid of London's noble fire brigade. Within an hour the gallant band were pouring in on every hand, from Putney, Hackney, Downs and Bow, with courage high and hearts aglow. They galloped roaring through the town, Matilda's house is burning down! Inspired by British cheers and loud proceeding from the frenzied crowd, they ran their ladders through a score of windows on the ballroom floor, and took peculiar pains to souse the pictures up and down the house, until Matilda's aunt succeeded in showing them they were not needed, and even then she had to pay to get the men to go away. It happened that a few weeks later her aunt was off to the theatre to see that interesting play, the second Mrs. Tanqueray. She had refused to take her niece to hear this entertaining piece, a deprivation just and wise, to punish her for telling lies. That night a fire did break out. You should have heard Matilda shout. You should have heard her scream and bawl and throw the window up and call to people passing in the street, the rapidly increasing heat encouraging her to obtain their confidence. But all in vain. For every time she shouted fire, they only answered, little liar. And therefore, when her aunt returned, Matilda and the house were burned. Oh dear. Anyway, hope you like that story, grim as it is. It's a cautionary tale, as I said, from this book, Cautionary Verses by Hilaire Belloc. And we'll probably return to this book in the near future. But in the meantime, I'm going to go away. If you have, as I say, any ideas of what you'd like to see read, or any of the stories of your own, or any questions you have for me or Dinsdale Duck, particularly in encouraging him to come down to the shed through the garden, that'd be great. The email, as ever, is thestoryshed@gmail.com. That's thestoryshed@gmail.com. And I'm going to try and persuade some of my friends from places like university that I went to write some children's stories. Even people who have never written a children's story in the past. Because some of them are really clever, really creative. And I really would like to hear some stories or read some stories from children as well. So, thestoryshed@gmail.com. And that's me gone for now. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.